I hear sounds coming from this direction. Are these the Jaruka? Well, yes, it looks like it is. Uh, Hello there. What do we got here? A hunting horn. Oh, hello. Well, it looks like we've got drakes around here. We can deal with drakes, can't we? Of course we can. I hope so. Hey, this guy hits hard. Whew. Victory! Oh. Alright. Don't bug the goats. Hello there.
Thank you for your help, friend.
We will now return to Scarhold, but there was another party of drake hunters with us, and they have not yet come back. We heard their horn blowing some time ago, but it stopped abruptly. They continued to the northeast if you wish to search in that direction. Another party of hunters to the northeast. Is there a good path for me to take in order to find them? Ah, yeah, it looks like a nice clear path, in fact. Now let's see if I can find this second party of hunters. Uh, they're not in good shape. Well, I suppose I came here to get these weapons, so I might as well bring them back. And I suppose I'll have to inform the Jaruka of their losses, unfortunately. Back to Scarhold. I found two parties of Jaruka. Unfortunately, the second one already was slain. I did bring their weapons, though.
My Longbeards are going to need every weapon they can get.
Thank you for these, Pine Leaf. My Longbeards will need every weapon they could get their hands on, and I do not appreciate these Jaruka raiding the armories without notice. That practice must end, or they will face the wrath of my Longbeards. But there is trouble brewing here in Scarhold, and I need my most trusted warden to help deal with it before the situation gets worse. I need to deal with it, and I also need to deal with... It's a nice little bauble there, isn't it? A real pretty bauble.
While you were away, a brawl broke out on the upper level.
A brawl. Typical. So what's the nature of this brawl? Yes, I don't know the precise cause of this brawl, but it seems there is some resentment on the part of the Jaruka and the Stout Axes here at Scarhold. When I climbed up to investigate, the matter had been resolved, but... Whoa! You hear them? It appears nothing was settled after all. You go find these unruly dwarves and get to the bottom of this, Pine Leaf. Perhaps they will listen to you. If they do not, well, we will swing that axe when we get there. Yeah, right, well, more likely in my case, it'll be poke at that spear when I get there. I believe the shouting came from this direction. Ah, there they are. Yes, they are not in a very good mood, apparently. What's going on in here? There's Hylar, Giupi, and Imach. What's going on here? Hey, calm down. Alright, looks like I calmed him for a brief moment. And now you can calm down. Alright. Hylar, what's going on? Here, let me get you up. Alright, what's happened here?
You want to know what happened?
I said 2 words, little more than that, and turned to go. That treacherous slime knocked me down when my back was turned. He calls himself a stout axe, but I know what he really is. He spent so long in Mordor, he was a willing servant of Sauron, or I'm an elf. Oh, good grief. I called him Grey Maul. What of it? He shows his true nature with such a cowardly strike. If you called him a Grey Maul, you're asking for it. I wager all the Staraxes have some Grey Maul blood in them, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Joruka did too. Yes, some of the Grey Mauls must have escaped Durin's judgment, and their descendants probably intermingled with the other dwarf families. I would not be surprised me to learn that Grey Maul blood might have led to the crimes and failings of even the Dourhats. They're going to blame everything on the Grey Mauls. Oh, good grief. What do you say, Venko?
I saw it all. The Longbeard called him Grey Maul Filth.
Oh, that was the second word. Yes. That's right. He called him Grey Maul Filth, and as he turned to go, and that is when Emok knocked him down. I do not know what he meant by that, but he is fortunate Emok used his fists and not his axe. I might have done worse. Yeah, there is that. Well, what do you say, Emok? I do not know anything about these Grey Mauls he mentioned, but his tone of voice was clear. Oh, yeah, and to me those words were clear. He intended for it to be insulting, so I was insulted. The story of the treacherous doors must be some fable of the Longbeards. We stout axes have our own tales, and no shortage of villains to which I might compare such as he, who speaks without thinking. He might do well to remember the force of my punch, for if he says anything of the sort to me again, he will fancy my fist once more, and this time I will hold nothing back. All right, I ask Emok if there is anything that might be done to put this quarrel behind you. Yeah? What, down in that direction? Yes, I would accept an apology over a mug of ale if you were to fetch enough for the 4 of us. I find that usually helps. All right, 4 mugs of ale. All right, let's see if I could find. Here is. That's it. This should be clean enough. Hey, Watch! Watch where you write those horses. Look at this! What is this? Rude people all over the place. Good grief. Things are really bad here. You constantly get run over. Now I could understand someone might taking exception to me taking their mugs, but well, for now they are clean enough. Yeah. Now that I have the mugs, let's start filling. That's 1 filled, 2 filled. Oh, no more. Now, is there another keg? Because I don't think it'll do if I only bring 2 mugs. I have a feeling that could start the whole battle all over again. See if I can find more mugs. Or better yet, a second keg. There you go. And 4. There you go. Now, I hope this is enough. Ooh, That time I managed to dodge the horse. I am hoping that this calms things down a little bit. There you go. Very well. That calms you down for a moment? I hope so. Now, back to Durin. Everything's settled for a moment, but I have a feeling it won't be permanent.
You were able to smooth things over with the quarreling dwarves. I expected no less.
But now there's something else. Isn't there always? Probably.
Soon I will drive the orcs from Gundabad. But I am no fool. We must prepare.
You know I desire to take back Gundabad for my people, and it will not be long before I drive those orcs from the sacred mountain. But too often the hasty stroke goes astray, or so they say, and I know an assault upon the mountain home must be carefully planned. To that end, I sent a number of scouts to the wells of Langford, swift and true, and they have now returned. But they return with news not from the foot of Gundabad, but from the lands to the south. They bring word of raiding parties set loose from Gundabad upon the inhabitants of the Mist Hollow and the Flood Fells. There are few enough of those, but if the orcs move into the lands, they will trouble any army that seeks to advance into Gundabad. Someone must deal with this raiding party. Do you know something, Pineleaf? I believe we might solve two problems with a single stroke. Why not send some of the troublesome Joruka or Stout Axes to confront the raiding party? They will realize their true quarrel is with the orcs, and during their absence, some measure of peace can return to Skarhald. What were their names? Emok? Venko? Bring them the news of this task, and invite them to adventure on behalf of their people. All right, I will tell them. I don't think they'll be happy, though. I don't think they're going to be happy about this. Hello.
Durin expects us to go in search of this raiding party from Gundabad.
Is that what you're saying, Pineleaf? That he wants us to go search for this raiding party? Yes, that's the gist of it. I cannot fail to notice that he has charged a Stout Axe and a Joruka with this mission, rather than any of the large number of his own folk that have come to Skarhald. I find it most curious, Venko, do you not? I believe the Longbeard Prince is seeking to get rid of us. Well, there is that. Well, what have you got to say, Venko? Durin wants us to face a raiding party from Gundabad. I see the workings of his mind, and I tell you, they are not as subtle as he thinks them to be. If Emok and I prove victorious against the orcs, then the few folk who live along the Langford will be made safer. And if we do not, well, Durin has only lost a Stout Axe and a Joruka in the effort. He will not mourn us over much, Emok, will he? In the interest of settling aside our differences, I will do as Durin requests, if Emok will do the same. I will venture to the wells of Langford in pursuit of the raiding party, with two conditions only. The first is this: you must come with us, Pineleaf. Oh, what a shock! You are a close friend of the Longbeard Prince, and he would not send you into danger without reason. If you were to perish, I believe he would be aggrieved. So I ask you to come with us and search for the raiding party. My second condition is that Durin send a Longbeard as well. Why should Stout Axis and Joruka go into danger when Durin's folk remain safely behind? Those are my two conditions. Bring them to Durin with haste, Pineleaf, and see what this Longbeard Prince has to say. He won't be happy. I delivered the message, sir, and they essentially said they will go if I go and a Longbeard goes with them.
They will only undertake this errand if you go with them? This is outrageous.
No one else has assumed the mantle of leadership here in Scarhold, and I do so only unwillingly. But if I make such a command as this, it should be followed, and without question. These dwarves will cause only trouble for me and mine, and if I want them well away from Scarhold, then away from it they shall be without negotiations. But what is it, Glowing? You have something to say? Oh, Glowing, hello there.
Yes, Durin, I have something to say.
I have seen a thing or two during my long life, and it has taught me much. I was among the youngest of the dwarves to fight at Azanubizar. Did you know that? Every dwarf clan sent representatives to fight in that war, Durin, not just the Longbeards. Even so useful as I was, I knew that each family fought for more than just their own glory. They fought for the survival of all dwarves. You should not send Joruka only, or Stoutaxe only, in pursuit of this orc raiding party. Neither should you keep your Longbeards in reserve, for that speaks poorly both of you and of them. A Longbeard should go, and I volunteer myself. Let Pineleaf adventure there too, not just because Emak and Venko request it, but because Pineleaf is a loyal friend and true, and will see this raiding party destroyed. These are words of wisdom, Durin, and with age and experience they will come naturally to you. For now, let them come from your friends and allies, for they want the same as you and will not lead you astray. Pineleaf, will you gather the supplies we need for this excursion into the wells of Langford? You will find satchels of foodstuffs, climbing gear, and assorted other supplies 2 or 3 levels up in Scarhold. While you do that, I will tell Emak and Venko that we will be traveling companions for the good of Scarhold and all dwarves. Well, for a moment there I thought they were going to be sending a different dwarf, but I suppose they want someone who is less likely to cause tensions. Ah, here's some camping gear. Good. Now I'll see if I can find some foodstuffs because we will need plenty of provisions if we're going to be traveling. Ah, here's some provisions right here. Good. Now, climbing gear. I hope we don't need too much climbing gear. Climbing is just not one of my grand skills. There you go. Now, let's see if Glowing's back at the stable master yet. Here's the supplies, Glowing.
You found the supplies for our expedition. Very good.
Yes, at a young age I learned the importance of preparing for a journey, and my appreciation of such preparations has only increased with every passing year. You do not want to lack some crucial tool in the middle of the wilderness, I can tell you that. But you know that as well as I, my friend. Yes, of course. I spoke to Emak and Venko while you were gathering up the supplies, and they said that they will meet us at the pass that leads to the wells of Langford, far to the west of Scarhold, east and south of the broken Rush Gate. They were not very happy about it. They believe their condition will change Durin's mind and keep anyone from seeking out this raiding party. But it was not to be so. Speak to Durin, and then we will join on our new companions. All right. Well, what do you say, Durin?
So, are you ready to depart for the wells of the Langflood?
I know very little about the wells of Langford, but I understand Glowing journeyed there during the Sixth War of Dwarves and Orcs, when he was very young. I'm sure he will tell you anything you may need to know of that land. I will await word of the raiding party when you find it, and then we will turn our attention to the place from which it came. Gundabad, the mountain home of my people. For too long has it been kept by the orcs, but their residency will soon come to an end. One more thing, Pineleaf. Keep a watchful eye on that Stoudax and Joruka with whom you travel. They may not wish you ill, not directly, but they may treat you dishonestly if it serves their purpose. The wells of Langford are west of here, accessible by a narrow pass in the southern cliffs, east of the broken rush gate. Journey there boldly, but with caution in your eyes, and find this raiding party before it can do more harm. And now to that pass just off of the rush gate, which is where I'll meet you in the next episode of The Legacy of Durin.